What's up, everybody? Michael Dugan here from internsbig10.com coming at you with our Week 4 predictions. It's Big Ten play for the majority of the conference. We've got some good games. We've got some prove-it games. We've got some potential upsets. We've got everything going on throughout the Big Ten. A couple teams on bye week, Northwestern, Wisconsin, two of them. They're going to play next week. That's the game Charlie and I are going to talk about a lot on the podcast this week. I can't wait to get this weekend going. There are some good games. Let's get the not good games out of the way first. Indiana and Georgia Southern. Indiana favored by 24. You can eat those points if you want. I don't mess with those spreads. You guys know that. Indiana's going to win this game. Ohio State's going to beat UNLV. And then from there, it really pretty much, it's not necessarily a toss-up, but it gets interesting from there. Maryland plays host to UCF, who has not played in, I believe, 3 weeks. They've had a couple games canceled due to the weather. It's obviously been acting up down south. USF has not hit the football field since a 61-17 victory, if my memory serves me right, over Florida International. That's an offense that can move the football, but so is Maryland, and they've got a good linebacking core. I like Maryland in this one at home. They're giving 4 points. I think they cover. I think they win this one by a touchdown. You guys know me. I love DJ Durkin. Never bet against him. Rutgers and Nebraska. Nebraska's bad. They're not that bad. They're not going to lose this game. And pretty much what's the most pivotal game from a program standpoint for Nebraska in a really long time. They're pretty much in a free fall right now. Not quite, but this would send them into a free fall if they were to lose this game. 12.5-point favorites. I like them to win this game by double digits. Would be surprised if it doesn't happen. But Rutgers is going to be chomping at the bit to get at this one. Michigan, Purdue, Penn State, and Iowa, I'm going to save for my last two. We're going to go into Notre Dame and Michigan State right now. I don't know a whole lot about Michigan State. You don't know a whole lot about Michigan State. They've played 2 MAC teams, and they've gotten 2 wins that were not that overwhelming. They were pretty underwhelming, I guess you could say. Couple possessions, they didn't really blow you away with running the ball, takeaways. I think they only have 2 or 3 takeaways on the season. They haven't really blown me away with anything, but they have made some steady progress after a disastrous season last year that I'm sure Michigan State fans do not want to talk about or remember in any way. This is a really interesting game. I think Notre Dame is right now probably a half step above Michigan State when it comes to playing with confidence and knowing and establishing their identity on the field. But this is in East Lansing, which makes it all the more difficult for me to pick this game. Notre Dame is a field goal favorite. I think that's probably a very safe spread. If I had to pick a spread, it would probably be that one. I don't know. I feel like Michigan State has garnered a little bit of momentum going in after these first 2 games. I think this is a huge opportunity for them. I like Mark D'Antonio over Brian Kelly 10 times out of 10. Give me the Spartans in this one in a field goal upset. I don't think they win by a field goal. I think it's going to be a really close game. But I'm going to take Michigan State here just because I like coaching, and all in all, pretty much even game right here. Penn State and Iowa. I mean, this is the game for James Franklin to start to prove himself. This would not end the conversation on James Franklin, the beef that he and I have right now. But this is definitely a game that can make a statement for Penn State if they were to win it by a lot. Kinnick is a remarkably tough place to play. At media days, a lot of Big Ten players said that Iowa is the toughest road environment, in the Big Ten. The guys are fans are right on top of the field. Those guys get jazzed to play at home. 7:30 Eastern, under the lights in Kinnick. It really doesn't get much better than this. This is a huge game for Penn State. I wrote about this in my column today. Go check it out. You can see it on the website. We tweeted it out at Interns Big Ten. Josie Jewell doesn't model his game, but likes to take notes and likes to watch film on Tigre Scales of Indiana. Look at last year's game when Penn State traveled to Indiana. Saquon Barkley, 33 carries, 58 yards. You think Josie Jewell's going to be watching film from that game? I sure do. Indiana shut Saquon Barkley down that game. I think Iowa's going to take a similar game plan. Josie Jewell is the captain of that defense. This is going to be a low-scoring affair. The spread is 13 in favor of Penn State. Give me those points with Iowa. I think Penn State sneaks out of there with a victory by a touchdown. But this is a close game. It's not 13 points. I'd be surprised if it is. Michigan and Purdue. This one could go any which way. I don't know what's going to happen. We haven't heard from Jim Harbaugh in Michigan in a while. They're ready to make a statement. Purdue is rolling right now. They're scoring efficiently and having very little trouble offensively. And their defense is playing pretty well too. Purdue's going to win this game if they can establish a running game and move the ball down the field. And that's going to be a challenge because this Michigan front seven is talented. Rashawn Gary is an outstanding pass rusher and a freak of an athlete. So if Purdue, can establish a run game in this one and get creative with some play action and hit a couple home run balls, they can absolutely win this game. This is a 10.5-point spread right now. I don't think they're going to win. I'm going to take Michigan in this one. I know I'm not really going out on any limbs this week, but That's the upset I'm going to pick if one's going to happen this year. Or this week, excuse me. It just edges out Penn State and Iowa. Give me Purdue over Michigan. If you have to make an upset pick, it's Purdue over Michigan. I think Michigan wins the game by single digits. I think that's a great back and forth game. Thank you guys for watching, tuning in. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Give our stuff a listen. Give our stuff a read. Give us a follow at Interns Big Ten on pretty much everything, internsbig10.com. We'll catch you next week on the podcast. Enjoy this weekend of Big Ten football.